Our division starts this week. That's a great win. Break it down.
Hey, real quick. Our head coach is our rock now. We're in Dallas, in his place where he played game ball. Bring it in!
How about a little kick-ass on three? 1, 2, 3. Kick-ass!
Man, I gotta say, I love this Detroit Lions team. How could you not get chills watching that clip? This is a team that's just together. This is a family, and this is a team that is destined for greatness, really. I'm pulling for the Detroit Lions this season, guys. I mean, you talk about Jared Goff, very, very kind gesture he had there, just giving the game ball to Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell is the engine of this thing. This Lions team, they are playing for each other, and they are playing for something bigger than all of them. And for as much as it was a feel-good day destroying the Cowboys in Dallas 47-9, obviously it ended with the horrible loss of defensive end Aiden Hutchinson, who suffered that gruesome leg injury. And the Detroit Lions, they did put out a post after, making it clear that surgery, it went well, but there is no timetable for Hutchinson's return. And this is obviously a big loss because we know how important he is to this team. But thankfully, he underwent successful surgery to repair that fractured tibia. And we just wish him the speediest of recoveries. But you look at the Lions, guys. I mean, this is just such a fun team to watch, man. Like, Jared Goff is in the zone right now. He threw for 315 yards and 3 touchdowns. And, you know, his completion streak ended on his first throw. But it did not matter because it was all Lions. This was just as impressive of an offensive display as we have ever seen. As we know, Goff, I mean, he did set the NFL single game record by going 18 of 18 in the Lions' victory over Seattle before their bye week. So he's just in the zone right now. And the Lions, they looked absolutely great. This is a team that their offense is showing that it is perhaps the best in the NFL. And Detroit, they simply did whatever they wanted on offense. This Lions team looked like a legitimate Super Bowl contender in that win, and this was them making a statement. This was just business from start to finish, and we know that the Lions came in with some unfinished business when it came to taking care of the Cowboys when they thought they had a win, but it was taken away from them last season when these two teams last met because the Lions misidentified which offensive lineman reported eligible. Of course, that's the call that the officials made on a tricky 2-point conversion. And yeah, that's that. It's forgottenable. But this season, the Lions made sure that it was not going to come down to a call, that this was going to be as one-sided as a victory as we have seen. And, you know, Detroit, they were out for some revenge. The Lions, they did whatever they wanted. They even ran a flea flicker with St. Brown pitching it back to Jared Goff after reverse, and then Goff hit Sam Laporta down the field for a 52-yard touchdown. And then later, they tried to pass it at the goal line to the offensive tackle Taylor Decker, whose 2-point conversion last season was overturned by the controversial penalty, though it was unsuccessful. But, you know, these guys were doing whatever they wanted out there. And then, you know, late in the third, with the Lions out 37-9, convincing lead, they ran a little hook and ladder play to their other offensive tackle, though it was called back due to a penalty. I mean, the Lions, they were clearly out there doing whatever they wanted. They were making a statement, and it came on Jerry Jones's birthday of all days. So, I mean, talk about sweet revenge. It couldn't have come on a better day for this team. And, I mean, the Cowboys, they didn't do themselves any favors. I mean, Dak Prescott, he threw a bad interception in the end zone when the Cowboys trailed 7-3, and that was really the turning point. The entire game shifted after that, and, you know, from that point on, it felt inevitable that the Lions were going to go on to blow out this Cowboys team that had just looked absolutely awful at home. But Detroit, I mean, they just looked like the superior team, guys, in every facet of the game, both sides of the ball. I mean, this is a Lions team that they look to be one of the best teams in all of the NFL, and it's fun to watch this team because a lot of people thought last season was a fluke. A lot of people thought the Lions were going to come back to reality this season, but that couldn't be any further from the truth. I mean, this Lions team, they've picked up from where they last left off. They actually look more potent and better than last season, in my opinion. Obviously, the loss to Hutchinson hurt so much. Maybe this team makes a big deal before the trade deadline, but all in all, I mean, you got to like where this Lions team stands. And really, they could use that injury as motivation because, like I said earlier, this is more than about themselves right now. This is about playing for the greater good, and they can dedicate the rest of the season to Hutchinson and, bring the Super Bowl home and really use that as fuel to get these guys ready each and every week. Because I'm telling you, if the Detroit Lions look how they looked in Dallas more times than not for the rest of the season, you're not going to beat this team. This is as talented of a team, and that offense is just absolutely potent. And, I'm so looking forward to next week when the Lions play the 5-0 Vikings, and that's going to be such a crucial game to determining where the Lions stand, but also, who could win this NFC North. Right now, the NFC North is the best division in all of football. All 4 teams are above 500. All 4 teams still have a chance at the crown, but this game is huge because if the Lions win this game, it sets the tone moving forward. And these division games, that's where the magic's going to happen. Detroit going up against the Vikings, having later matchups against the Packers and the Bears. Detroit, they've done what they needed to do up until this point, but they've now got to take care of business within the division. It's so important to win these games. And they're going to be without Hutchinson, so it is going to affect every matchup going forward. But the Lions, they're versatile offensively, and you got to just trust and believe that they're going to overcome this big injury. As we're looking at Jared Goff, he's playing his best football right now, man. He's putting up some massive numbers. Coming off 315 on Sunday. The Lions had 492 yards as a team. So Detroit, they do have a loss, but they have looked like the absolute team to beat in the NFC. I know the Vikings are perfect. This Lions team, in my opinion, has looked the best. And this is a team that it looks like their best football is in front of them. So it's going to be an amazing showdown. Lions, Vikings, you wouldn't want to miss it for the world. But if the Lions can continue this type of performance, it's going to be tough to beat this team. Like, this is a team that's just absolutely imposing their will. I mean, they destroyed the Cowboys, embarrassed the Cowboys. It wasn't even in Detroit. It was in Dallas, guys. Then they took care of business comfortably against the Seahawks, beat the Cards. They had that lone loss against the Buccaneers, but that was their only hiccup of the season. They beat the Rams, going back to week number 1. But this Lions team, they look legit. They look for real. And they're going to have to pick it up, though, because they got the Vikings and then they got the Packers November 3rd. So they're going to be put to the test over the next couple of weeks, 2 of the next 3 weeks. They got the Titans in between of that. But Lions fans, how are you feeling about this team? Where do you think they stand now after the big injury? Let me know your thoughts down below. Drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. That is it for me. This is Luca of Red Zone Rosano signing off. I will catch you all again in the next one.